This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 329. I don't check my stocks every day, and you shouldn't either. By Ramit Sethi of IWillTeachYouToBeRich.com. And I am Dan, your daily narrator here on the show. And if you have any topic requests for us, please share them. You can come over to oldpodcast.com and let us know what you would like to hear content-wise here on Optimal Finance Daily. And don't forget, this is just one of 5 podcasts where we narrate blogs for you. So to hear hundreds of more episodes and free audio content from the best authors out there, check out our other podcasts too. They are Optimal Living Daily, Optimal Health Daily, and Optimal Startup Daily. Also, our newest podcast, Optimal Living Daily Relationships. You can search for those wherever you are hearing the sound of my voice. For now, let's get right to today's post as we optimize your life. I don't check my stocks every day, and you shouldn't either. By Ramit Sethi of IWillTeachYouToBeRich.com. Stocks are a long-term investment, so stop checking them like they're your Twitter feed. It frustrates me no end when I see new investors constantly checking their stocks like it's their Twitter feed. It seems like even the slightest dip in the market causes them to freak out and start selling everything. I have one piece of advice for all you investment newbies out there. Stop checking your stocks every day. Sweating out the slightest variation of your stocks daily is a recipe for an anxiety attack and poor financial management. I don't check my stocks that often. They're long-term investments. But I get it. Television pundits and so-called investment experts make you think that every up and down is the end of the world and deserves 2 hours of coverage. Also, notice how they only ever cover the sexy stocks? Give me a break. The fact of the matter is, you shouldn't even really pick stocks to begin with. Relying on a handful of individual stocks in the hopes of making money is a good recipe for disaster. After all, you don't understand a company's finances. Professional investors, economists, and fund managers, all of whom are paid millions every year, can't beat the market either. Remember, investing isn't about just picking stocks. Now, if you actually enjoy reading Forbes and watching the pundits purely for entertainment purposes, then go right ahead. There's nothing wrong with being entertained by Jim Cramer throwing chairs around on Mad Money. But you also need to keep in mind that 99.99999% of the advice you see out there is pure fear-mongering or entertainment. Ask yourself, do the pundits make money when their readers make money, or do they make money from ratings and clicks? Exactly. 2 things to always keep in mind when it comes to stocks. 1. The professionals are almost always wrong. The stock picks of pundits and so-called professionals are usually no better than pure chance, and even professional money managers barely ever beat the market benchmark. In other words, they don't just underperform, but they do it by a lot. As William Bernstein, author of The Intelligent Asset Allocator, says, there are 2 kinds of investors, be they large or small. Those who don't know where the market is headed, and those who don't know they don't know. 2. It's mostly just noise. If you're a long-term investor, and you should be, you don't need to check your stocks every day. You don't even need to check your stocks every week. I only check my stocks once or twice a month to make sure the automation is working. The daily changes in stocks are almost always noise, plain and simple. And very few, read almost none, of your investments will be determined by the news of one day. Context is king in evaluating equities. I used to teach a class on investments. I would draw a picture of a rapidly declining stock and ask, what should I do with my stocks? About 25% of the class shouted, sell, and 25% said, hold it, while a couple of people in the class muttered, buy more? None of them were exactly right, though. The truth is, you need more context. If a stock like, say, Apple falls a bunch, you have to look at the surrounding context and ask questions like, is the general market falling? Are its peers like HP and Dell falling? Has Apple performed this way before? What happened then? Answering these questions provides a lot more context to the situation and can both put your mind at ease and also help you make better judgments. If a stock is falling but its competitors are fine, it will almost definitely bounce back. But if companies in that industry are cratering across the board, then you might want to start worrying. But who really wants to worry? Instead, I'd like to offer you a better solution when it comes to investing. Managing my stocks in a better way. Bottom line, I don't check my stocks every day, and you shouldn't either. Instead, what I do is rely on a system that allows me to take the set it and forget it approach to my investments. My portfolio guarantees my money is automatically going where it's supposed to. That's what I prefer to do, and it's the same strategy recommended by Nobel laureates and billionaire investors like Warren Buffett. All it takes is 2 simple steps. 1. Pick a low-cost, diversified index fund. These are funds that invest your money across the whole market, so you don't need to worry about picking the best stock. 2. Automate your investing so you do it consistently. That way, you can stop chasing stocks and rely on guesswork. I've talked about automating your investments in hundreds of articles already, but I always feel like it needs to be said. It's one of the easiest ways to ensure you're investing your money properly and consistently. If you are just starting out in investments, it's great that you're here. For financial security, it's more important than anything else to start early. And don't worry if you think you're a little late to the game. After all, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Man, I'm starting to sound like a fortune cookie. You just listened to the post titled, "I Don't Check My Stocks Every Day, and You Shouldn't Either," by Ramit Sethi of IWillTeachYouToBeRich.com. And that is really some good advice there from Ramit. In my household, I am definitely the one who gets tripped up by this a little bit. My background is as a journalist. I worked in news for many, many years. And so I would come home from work and say, "Did you see what the market did today?" to my wife. And she would say, "Don't worry about it. It'll go back up." But it is easy to get caught up in all that. And it's just great advice from Ramit to try to take the long-term approach, try to see the forest for the trees, and just don't get bogged down in that. Sometimes easier said than done, but great advice. And if you need something to distract you from checking your stocks, how about more free audio content? You can check out and subscribe to the other podcasts in our little Optimal family to hear a lot more. There's Optimal Living Daily, where Justin reads to you from the most popular personal development, productivity, and minimalism blogs, including Ramit's site. There's also Optimal Health Daily, which covers the most popular health and fitness blogs like Nerd Fitness, Ben Greenfield, and more. Optimal Startup Daily is great for entrepreneurs or really anyone in business. That one features some of the best content on how to create and grow your business. And of course, our newest show, Optimal Living Daily Relationships, where Joss reads to you about friendships, dating, marriage, parenting, and everything in between. All of those, format-wise, are exactly like this show. We simply narrate blogs for you to help you optimize your life. And that's it for today. Thanks so much for being here and listening, as always, and I will see you tomorrow in the Friday show, where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more, from incredible bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Finance Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode, and head to oldpodcast.com, that's OLDpodcast.com, for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.